Hey, it's Dr. Jarrett's 2 Cents Tuesdays, and I'm here live for you every Tuesday, Facebook Live, 1 p.m. Tuesdays, 2 Cents Tuesdays, Dr. Jarrett. Hope everything went well with you guys over the holiday. It is a happy new year. It's 2018, so happy new year to you, your family, your kids, everyone out there. It's a great new year. Great way to begin it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed all of your time there. Hey, Kathy, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining in today. I guarantee you that everyone had a little bit of time to celebrate, hopefully, get to reflect on the previous year and get to do some new things. So I certainly had a good time. It's always good with family and friends, and I appreciate all the well wishes that have been sent out from friends, family, and all of you, my supporters out there. So again, healthy, happy, and prosperous new year to all of you. So as I was looking back at some topics, actually had some topics that were brought up by some of our viewers. Mary particularly asked about things to do when their child turns 18. And I have to say that all those kids that are turning 18 this year were born in Y2K, the year 2000. You think back to all the hysteria going on back then. That seems like it was ages ago. And now, if you had a child born in 2018, they were actually, they're 18 now. They were born in the year 2000. So that's pretty wild. Hey, Mariana, thanks for joining in today. So, I am Dr. Jarrett. I'm your board certified pediatrician. I'm here to help you get better care of your kids. I do this through my programs, my live streams, my videos, my articles, and other programs I have forthcoming to you, especially that book that will be coming out in the springtime. So, all I want you guys to do now is just like my Facebook page. Continue to watch me at every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live at Dr. Jarrett. Go to my page, like it, and I'd appreciate it very much. So we'll talk about things today that happen when your child turns 18. So even if it's your baby, even if it's your oldest child, any child at the age of 18, the whole world changes around them. They could still be living with you in your home. They could still be maybe physically to make their own decisions at that point, although a lot of 18-year-olds aren't ready to make big-time decisions, and we'll get into some of those. Or they may not be able to make decisions for themselves at all. They may have differing abilities that actually prevent them from having the wherewithal or the physical capacity to actually make some of these decisions on their own. However, because of their age, it does not matter. You don't have any inherent rights over your child once that age 18 is crossed. So any kid that's been born the year 2000, you guys should be preparing yourselves now, because some of these things take some time. They do take some help. They may even take some attorneys to get some of these things done for you. So this is why I bring this up as a new issue for the new year. It's something that can help you prepare your child when they do turn 18 if they were a Y2K baby. The first thing I'll talk about is a healthcare power of attorney. A healthcare power of attorney does allow the parent to have some decision making in regards to the healthcare piece of their child. Those inherent rights of a parent at 18, so you cannot make medical decisions for your child without a healthcare power of attorney. Hey, Paulette, thanks for tuning in today. What I will say is that the healthcare power of attorney can be arranged by a lawyer. There may be some online services that will do that for you, but it's something that will give you the rights, particularly in emergency. A lot of people don't think about this when their child goes off to college, but particularly in an emergency, things do happen, and it's to your best interest to have some piece of the healthcare power of attorney. Now, that healthcare power of attorney can have its limitations if your child wants to have their own privacy to certain information. However, you could get a blanket healthcare power of attorney that could give you all of their medical and health information and give you some right to give some capacity. There's always tragic stories of things that happen in college or when the child moves away, and the parents' hands are tied because they don't have these documents into place. So number one would be that healthcare power of attorney. So if you're getting power of attorneys, the financial power of attorney would also be of some benefit. The financial power of attorney can actually give you some decision-making capacity in their financial interests, whether it be their savings account, their checking account. It could give you the ability to help pay bills on their behalf if something were to go wrong, if they were to get suddenly ill or have some difficulty getting their financial things in order, if they had some period of incapacity. Even if they were managing their own finances independently, the financial power of attorney, again, is something that could be arranged through a lawyer or even a online service in some states. You can get some financial interest and decision making and be able to help your child in an emergency with something that's not always done around that age of 18. So there's two different power of attorneys I want you to keep in mind: healthcare power of attorney and a financial power of attorney. Those are two different documents that can actually help you in an emergency situation or in a situation where you may be a long-term caretaker of your child into their adult years. This will give you the decision-making capacity on their hands, because if your child is a child with a differing ability, perhaps they may be getting finances or disability checks or something like that that aren't coming to you, and they won't come to you when they turn 18. So you're going to have to make sure you get the financial power of attorney so you can manage those finances so they can continue to get the care that they need. So, healthcare power of attorney, financial power of attorney. Paulette says that this is great advice for any age. Well, and it is. It's something that you can do at any stage of the game. However, the time you need to get these documents in hand is around the time they're 18. If you can do it before then, that's fine. Some states have some differing things that they actually have to turn 18 before you can do these things, but around that age of 18 is when you should be thinking about it. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're talking about the new year, the new things that you should be doing, especially if you had a Y2K baby, that baby that was born in the year 2000, they turned 18 this year. You're going to have to do some things to help protect you and their interest as you go forward. So keep some of these things in mind. If your child is going to be going off to college, they should have an educational release of records. FERPA, which is the educational system's privacy protection for students, is just as stringent as HIPAA, and we'll get into HIPAA in just a minute too. But HIPAA is the Healthcare Privacy Information Act that actually helps protect your healthcare information. So FERPA is the Educational Privacy Act. And as a parent of a child 18 or older, even if you're footing the college bill, you don't have access to their educational records. The colleges, universities will not give you information on your child's grades, their classes, whether they're even attending class, because of these protections. So you would need to get a specific educational release of records signed on file with the colleges. And the colleges, especially at enrollment time, they have no qualms about saying, hey, look, your child is our student, and whatever happens stays between the student and the school. The parents do not get in between at this time. So it can become very challenging for you to get that educational information without getting that educational release to go through those FERPA laws. So you're going to have a couple of different power of attorneys, healthcare and financial power of attorneys, and you're going to get the educational release, because that educational release will be something that's going to be needed for those children going off into college or higher education. So I know you guys know people that may have people that were born in 2000 and the kids are turning 18. Make sure you share the video with them. Sharing is caring. This is useful information, and most of the time people don't even get this information, or they find out about it too late when it's something that's already gone wrong with them. So it's one of those things that you really need to be proactive about, because you just won't get those documents in a quick turnaround. It's going to have to get kicked around in the courts and all types of things in an emergent situation. So you want to be prepared. Financial release of records, health care release and power of attorney, educational release as well. And we'll talk about the HIPAA authorization as well. So the HIPAA authorization is the Healthcare Privacy Act. Again, and so this protects everyone's healthcare information so that it stays between the adult patient and the healthcare entity, whether it be the pediatrician or the family doc or the emergency room. They're keeping all of these things private, and it's one of the things that you need to keep in mind, that once your child turns 18, you don't have access to that health information anymore legally. So whether or not you're making all decisions for your child, or your child can make some independent decisions, if you need any kind of healthcare information, and this includes something that may happen on campus or in the college health area, because there's you talk to anyone that does college health services, there are a lot of things going on in the colleges that bring students into the college healthcare facility and being treated and perhaps released without the parents even knowing anything about. So again, there can be modifications if your child wants to have some privacy to their health information. They may not want to give you full blanket, but you're going to have to discuss getting a HIPAA authorization release as well, just in case something goes wrong while they're away, that you can actually have the health care information at hand that can help further their treatment and engagement. So make sure, and that's different than a healthcare power of attorney. So all these things are technical and they're kind of around the same things. This is why I'm bringing them to you. Thank you again, Mary, for requesting this information. As always, I will give you the information that you ask for. People are giving me topics all the time, and if it's a topic that you feel that you want to learn more about, just contact me through Dr. Jarret, make a comment in this video, share the video, and I will bring this back to you guys in an upcoming 2 Cents Tuesday. So remember, there are several things that you have to do if you have a Y2K baby. They were born in the year 2000. They turn 18 this year. They're still your baby, but there are some things by law that are not going to protect, you're not going to be able to protect them anymore. So keep in mind, the 5 things are financial power of attorney. So you make sure you can have some control over their finances, or perhaps pay their bills in a situation where they're not able to do this themselves. You can have a healthcare power of attorney, which again, particularly in an emergency situation, can give you some treatment authorization to help plan and continue their treatment, or knowing what their end of life goals are. Happy New Year, Mary. Thanks for tuning in. We are talking about things to do when your child turns 18, the documents you need in hand. So again, you're going to have the healthcare power of attorney that will give you that decision making. You're going to want to have that HIPAA authorization. We talked about that. HIPAA authorization will help give you medical records release to the child, specifically, that can be used in emergency treatment if something goes wrong and they're maybe unconscious or unable to make those decisions by themselves. The financial power of attorney, this will give you some control over their finances. This is particularly of interest if your child may be getting a disability check or some other finances through a government agency, and they are unable to make financial decisions on their own. you will need to have a financial power of attorney as well. And finally, if they're going off to college, just because you are paying all of those thousands of dollars for their college does not give you right to know anything that is going on in that college. So make sure, if you want to get some feedback, if you say, oh, they may go away, they may have a horrible semester or two, and it's not until they don't return to school that you ever know anything. If they're not sharing the information with you, you're going to have to negotiate with them to get an educational release that will help them get the educational records from the college or university to you, so you know what's going on with them, because it's not something that you're just going to be able to show up and get without that legal documentation. And all these things can be done in with an attorney's office. Some of them can be done with some online services as well, but it is something that takes some time and some planning to get done. This is why at the top of the new year, I want to give this topic particularly to you, so that you are prepared and have something to think about, particularly if you have teenagers. They can be elusive sometimes, so you're going to want to start thinking about these processes, particularly if your baby was born in the year 2000. So, I am Dr. Jarret. I'm your board-certified pediatrician. I am here to help you take better care of your babies. I'm going to do this every Tuesday on 2 Cents Tuesdays, 1 o'clock Eastern, Facebook Live, giving you information and facts. I'll also be giving you guys further information in my books, my other programs I have forthcoming. All I want you to do is continue to follow and like my page at Dr. Jarret. That's spell out Dr. J-A, 2 R's, E, 1 T. We're going to get that out, and I'll make sure if you have any topics upcoming, just let me know. I'll put them on a 2 Cents Tuesdays. Thanks again to Mary for this great topic. It's something that many parents don't hear about until it's too late, but I wanted to bring those to you today. Make sure you are having a wonderful 2018. Make sure that you're having a happy, healthy, prosperous new year. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.